Yo, what up, though? I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson, and yes, I am still under the weather. I got a defibrillator on and shit, and we still here. You know what time it is? I know what time it is. Anybody?
For the showdown.
It's time for the show where we talk schmack. It's time for the show where we talk smack. It's time for the show where we talk sports. We talk football. It's time for the showdown. Yo, what up, though? I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. I'm here with the Nasty Boys, Big Ed and Waze, on the tail end of Super Wild Card Weekend, and it was a wild one, if I might say so myself. And let's introduce the Nasty Boys. Big Ed, what's happening, man?
What's good? What it do?
Big Ed straight out of a studio session.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Waze, what's happening, man?
And not much, just kicking it.
Just kicking. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet.
Party on down to the escape beat.
Oh, yeah.
Just
They don't speak.
kicking. Just kicking. So we got a great show lined up for you guys. I got a big surprise for these two cats, man, and I think they're gonna love it. And I'm gonna kind of give it away before I play it, but I ain't gonna give it away just yet. I do want to play it kind of early, but Waves, what you got on tap for us? What's going on?
Man, this week, there ain't no fantasy football to talk about. So we're going to just talk about this past week's events and last week's games more specifically.
Love it. I love it. And a lot coming down the pike. So let's get it on, man, because you know what's going on, right?
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker.
Damn, it doubled up on my ass.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Must have won some money this weekend.
I guess so, right? I guess it's because I'm shaky, nervous about my situation, man. So I'm shaky. I'm kind of doubling up.
All right, we're going to start off with the lighter stuff this week. When I say lighter, it's just not as exciting as the rest of the stuff. The Chargers had completed an interview with Jim Harbaugh yesterday, Monday.
Yeah.
And everybody knows he's going to be a hot commodity in the NFL in general. Chargers was one of the main teams that really wanted to grab him.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
what were you saying?
No, I was gonna say, and I think that might be the one job he might take. Quite frankly.
I could agree with that.
So I don't put it past him.
Yeah, I can see that one. You got a quarterback that's decent. You got a running back. You got one hell of a wide receiver in Keenan Allen, if he can stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, man, they got a beast of a tight end coming down the pike. Not Gerald Everett. That Donald Parham.
Yeah, Parham is a baller. Yeah.
What is he, 6'8"?
They got a lot of weapons, man, and they got a lot of potential, is what they have. And I heard it put very well. Somebody said what they don't have is an identity in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Los Angeles has not embraced the Chargers, and so I personally would like to see them head back to San Diego, but that's just me.
That's where they belong.
Thank you.
That's where their identity was.
Thank you.
Now, what was that?
I said, what else?
Falcons are looking like the next place or the next stop for Bill Belichick in his career.
I have another idea.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be the Falcons.
Okay.
I think Bill Belichick is headed to Dallas.
I heard that one too, but I also heard somebody else in the mix for Dallas through a trade. Mike Tomlin.
Uh-uh.
Can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see Tomlin wanting to put up with Jerry Jones.
There's one thing Pittsburgh's not gonna do. And that's gonna be they're gonna finally decide to let go or get rid of one of their coaches who just so happens to be the black.
Good point.
They're not gonna take that chance.
I don't know. I see it happening.
I-
Him leaving Pittsburgh.
I see McCarthy staying.
I see Bill Belichick.
But I can see that also.
I see Belichick coming to Dallas.
Belichick comes in.
Jerry loves a big splash.
Belichick comes in. Does he go with Trey Lance, or does he stick with Dak?
That's a good question.
I think he's gonna clean house. Belichick is starting his career over right now. That is what Bill Belichick is out to do. He's not out there to be the Bill Belichick with the New England Patriots. Now it's time to go show he could do this without Tom Brady and without all this other management.
Belichick has already tried that. He better not start over.
I guarantee you that's what he's doing.
Belichick better grab a team that's ready to rock and roll. I think he goes with Dak.
Okay.
I think he rolls with Dak and keeps going. He better not start over. He ain't got. He too old.
Jerry's not going to let him be GM.
No.
First off.
No.
So I think
he don't need to be GM.
No, I think that was the problem in New England.
I think what would make their marriage work is if Jerry continues to be GM like he is and stay the fuck out of Belichick's way and let Belichick coach. And I think he would respect Belichick enough to let him do that.
Yeah. I can see that as well. Yeah.
And Belichick can sit back and let Jerry do all the talking. He don't give a fuck.
But at the same time, Belichick also understands what he has as an opportunity in Atlanta. All he needs is a good quarterback. That's all he needs in Atlanta.
I heard they're going after Justin Fields.
That's what I heard also.
That as well. I heard they're going for Justin Fields, but I also heard that Washington wants that number 1 as well.
And they're at number 8 though, ain't they? Atlanta?
Yeah.
So then Chicago would have what, 1, 5, and 8?
Yep. But I'm not going with Caleb Williams.
Who do you hate the pick?
If you have number 1?
I hate the pick. I really hate picking. I hate Caleb Williams as a first overall pick.
I
don't like the pick.
He says he doesn't want to be a Bear.
Yeah, he did say that.
So I don't want to pick somebody that don't want to be there.
I agree. I agree 100%. And to be honest with you, obviously not everyone's going to agree with me. I got a good chunk of people that probably will. I see Caleb Williams as more of a third-round talent.
Ooh, wow! No, I don't know about that.
He hasn't shown me enough to make him give.
I don't like his attitude.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
think he wants.
Doesn't match his attitude.
I think he wants too much too soon. Take a snap, bro. Then start making all of these demands. Take a fucking snap. This ain't college.
You know, I saw a comparison that they had in an article I was reading where they were talking about possibly trading Justin Fields and picking Caleb Williams. This year, Justin Fields held on to the ball longer than anybody at 3.23 seconds. Caleb Williams held on to the ball this year for 3.15 seconds. There's not that much of a difference there. They both hold on to the ball too long. They both don't make quick decisions. So I'm not going, hell no, I'm not picking Caleb Williams. I wouldn't trade Justin.
Okay. I got a question for you, bro. And this is a serious question because I'm actually curious on this. if you guys do end up with that 1, 5, and 8, or 9, right?
8.
8.
No, we're at 9.
Okay. Who do you pick
Oh, so they would
at
have
1?
1, 8, and 9.
Who do
Yeah,
you?
we got 1 and 9 right now.
Okay, so they would have 1, 8, and 9 if they
Who do you
made that.
pick as your number 1 pick then?
I might go with Drake May.
Okay.
Wait, no. I take that back. Because I'm not getting rid of Justin.
Well, in this hypothetical question, he's saying you did.
Yeah. Because
Oh,
if you
okay.
did that number 5, you got rid of him to Atlanta.
I go Drake May.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought you were gonna go with Michael Penix. I think system wise, play wise, he's the best fit. But
I
that's
think Penix going to end up in Minnesota.
Yep.
I can see that too.
And I think Penix is going to prove to be a much better quarterback than everybody think he is.
And you know what I do with that number 8 pick?
What's that?
I use it to trade back up. And I get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Why would you do that if you're at number 5? You already.
We're not at 5. We got 1, 8, and 9. The Falcons are at 8, not 5.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Are they something like that? I don't know.
Okay,
I need
but
to
then
look.
yeah, I would take that number 8. I'd do the same thing. But you're gonna have to give something else up for that number 5 as well. But yeah, I see what.
Yeah, a couple late rounders
And I
this
agree.
year and next year.
I think that's still a smart decision because Arizona will snatch up Marvin Harrison Jr. if you do not have that spot before them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, man. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But I'm with you, Big Ed. I wouldn't trade him. I'd keep Justin Fields.
And I think they actually signaled that they are going to keep him by keeping Eberflus.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do. They have a really tough decision to make, and the fact that they haven't outright gone one way or the other, and said one way or the other, they're kind of walking that line very finely.
Yeah.
It makes this even more of an interesting thing. Everybody's got their eyes on what the Bears doing right now.
I agree.
Poles is saying the same thing he said last year. We are evaluating everybody at every position, and we're keeping our options open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. But like I said, the one thing that I see being the only thing that makes sense for moving Justin Fields to me is when you follow the money. Money wise, it makes sense to reset the clock, and I just don't. I just wouldn't do it. But I'm not a billionaire that's looking at that bottom line like the person that has to. If I'm there, I probably look at it different, and I probably do look at that money and say I can move him now, get something from it, and reset the rookie clock because I'm going to have to pay him in a minute. I'm going to have to pay him, and I'd rather let somebody else take that hit while I'm.
And somebody's going to give up something good for him if they do end up trading.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
if you look at the last 7 games, 7 games of the season, he was 5-2.
Oh, absolutely. They're gonna get a haul for him if they trade him. They're gonna get a haul for him. There ain't no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So anyway, enough about the Bears.
You know, I love the Bears talk.
All right, so another team that had a huge decision coming up, and it looks like they're, for the first time in my lifetime, looks like they're about to make the right decision. The Raiders are they're expected to keep Antonio Pierce as their head coach.
That's awesome.
They saw that Max Crosby already put it out there, or he didn't put it out there, but it's been said that Max Crosby was going to request a trade if Antonio Pierce went anywhere.
Yeah, I think it was interesting when other teams start saying, "Hey, we want to talk to him. Let us talk to him. Let us interview him." And I think that made the Raiders say, "We better lock this nigga in before
Yeah.
he ends up gone because everybody else is ready to jump in. And he going to jump ship on us if we don't make a decision now.
It's gonna be interesting.
Big ass smoking weed on your show.
It's a cigarette.
That's sick of weed, nigga.
It's a cigarette.
That's sick of weed.
All right, so I forgot where the hell I was going with that. You just threw me.
All right.
Another team that got a new coach right away after Bill Belichick left. The Patriots got Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, they did. Yep. They got Gerard Mayo, and his wife is fine as a.
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker.
I am curious to see what he does there. I honestly don't know much about him, so I'm indifferent when it comes to Gerard Mayo.
He was a hell of a linebacker.
Well, as a coach, I don't know what he's like, so that's what I'm gonna see what happens here because I'm interested. I have a new name. Antonio Pierce was a new name to coaching for me. I didn't even realize he was on the coaching staff until he got that head coach spot.
Same thing with Gerard Mayo.
I do his entire. I watched his entire career, but yeah, I didn't even know that. So I'm interested to see where this goes.
And both of them were linebackers coaches.
Yeah.
I have a question, man.
What's that?
Why are we talking about all this shit and we have football games all goddamn weekend? God damn.
Ask Waze.
All right, well, let's get to it. I'm gonna make a statement in saying this first game. The future looks very bright over in Houston.
Duh.
God damn. It wasn't like they just went out there and spanked out on a goddamn bum team. They didn't go beat the 8th seed. You know, they went out there and put in work on a team that everybody predicted to win.
Yep. Houston was the only game I got wrong this weekend.
Yeah.
That's the only one I got wrong. I picked Cleveland. Everybody else, the rest of them I got right.
The only one I got wrong was the Dolphins game.
Yep, you picked the Dolphins.
Yeah, I got the Houston game wrong. I got the Packers and Cowboys wrong. I think those are the only two I got wrong this week.
Okay. That brings this up, man. Before we get into talking about these games. There's this guy that came up with a dope way. First of all, what I'm about to play for you is so dope on so many levels. One is dope because his style is fire. It's like country hip hop fire, right?
Okay.
And he's predicting the games. Now, he's a fan of one of the teams, and he got 100% of all the games wrong except the one he picked with his heart. The one he picked, once he went hard overhead, that's the only game he got wrong. But let's hear it. This is Breland. This is Wild Card Weekend predictions.
I got the Texans over Browns. Flacco made a comeback, but he'll come back to the ground. AFC done got a little different in the South. 3 TDs and 250 passing for CJ Stroud. That's how it's going down. Dolphins are the Chiefs. Both have had an underwhelming past couple of weeks. I would pick Miami if it wasn't 5 degrees. I predict Pacheco for 100 yards at least. Give the Swifties what they need. Bills about to close the steel curtain. I'm almost certain Josh Allen really put in work. Sadly, TJ watching from the sidelines. James about to cook some Pittsburghers in prime time. I think the Packers pulling up, said you never know. Jordan Love is up next Sunday, he gon' let it show. Dallas see a rush threat, alright, here we go. Do you really trust Dak to take him to the Super Bowl? Then it's Stafford coming back to face the old squad. Cooper catch a couple, Puka probably goes off. But Dan Campbell's proving they ain't no frauds. I think the Lions win, but it's a close call. Then the Birds against the Bucks, it's been a little rough, but I still think we get a dub. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, push might come to shove. Smith and Swift and AJ Brown, I think we got enough to show the world we still the ones. Yeah.
So the only game he got wrong was Philly against Tampa Bay. He's wearing a Philly jersey in the video, and so he went with Philly there. But every other one he got right. I mean, he even came close on predictions with C.J. Stroud's stats, and
Yeah, he damn near was spot on with that
he
stat.
was spot on, damn near right.
Big Ed, you muted.
Him and Jordan Love had basically the same game.
Yeah,
There was like
it is.
3 or 4 yards difference in passing, and that was it.
Yeah,
And the crazy part is they both on the same weekend, same year, ended up having the best passer rating, I think it was,
perfect.
in playoff history.
They were 16 to 21, both of them in the 270s.
Yeah, both of them had perfect pass rating.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty doggone awesome, man. So which one we going to talk about first?
Oh, we got to talk about Houston. We got to talk about the way they beat the brakes off of the Browns.
I told y'all Nico Collins was a beast.
Ooh.
I told y'all Nico Collins was a beast. Didn't I tell you the dude is virtually uncheckable, man?
Man.
I didn't realize though that's Ohio State to Michigan.
Yeah.
I didn't know Nico Collins was from Michigan.
Me neither.
Yeah. So that's a Ohio State to Michigan connection.
Yeah.
Big Ten. They got the Big Ten connection on y'all ass.
Man.
From biggest rivals to biggest teammates.
Ain't that something?
Man.
And they made Flacco look pedestrian. Flacco looked good for a quarter and a half.
He had what, 2, 3 interceptions?
And they just dominated him in the second half.
Oh,
They shut out Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They put a number on him. And I tell you who was salty. Who's got to feel like the worst out of everybody on the field that day. Deshaun Watson. On the sideline, watching C.J. Stroud get all the love that he used to get. Yeah, you should have stayed your ass in Houston. There it is, right there.
Hey, what I will say though is Nico Collins, as great as he was doing, it definitely helps to have a quarterback that can thread the needle like C.J. Stroud can. That kid, we all knew he was a great quarterback, but I finally got to actually watch a game of C.J. Stroud's this season. This is the first time I actually got to watch one of his games. Man,
wow.
That kid is I was more than impressed watching him because he's making these throws that should not be happening happen.
That's the truth. I watched him against Indianapolis, and I was like, this motherfucker's him to Nico is deadly, man.
Man,
Yeah.
That is a deadly combo because Nico is hard to check, man.
Man, wait,
Nothing.
man. Imagine if they would have had Tank Dell with them too.
Man. And they lost who was it? Noah Brown right away.
You know what? Let me say this, man. Fuck you with that Tank Dell shit. He wasn't in the game. He always, every time he got to bring up Tank Dell when I'm talking about Nico Collins. He wasn't there.
It was an unfortunate injury, and
He
Tank
wasn't
Dell's
there.
season was, man.
He wasn't there. So I can't imagine it. Well, I got to imagine if he was there when they won.
I'm just talking about the stats he would have put up if he was there.
I am going to entertain the
I don't know. He may have been a subtraction.
I am going to entertain the hypothetical based off of what we had seen from Tank Dell up until his injury. I think we'd be talking about a different kind of C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans making NFL playoff history stat line. Because I can guarantee you, those between the two, those would have been 3 touchdowns each. And that's it.
I don't know.
Touchdowns.
I don't know.
I don't know. I see it as who you covering. You gonna cover Tank or you gonna cover Nico?
I don't know.
And he was killing him with both of them all season.
All I know is next season's going to be very interesting when you got a receiving core like that who are all healthy.
I think they've been looking better when you got a clear number one.
Mm-hmm.
When you got your clear-cut guy.
Yeah.
'Cause they wasn't in the playoffs all year. They made a run.
Yeah. Speaking of a run, what about the run of losses for the Eagles?
Ooh. Oh. Oh man. Yo.
It
Man.
was what 1-6 in the last 7 games?
They did.
Ugly.
It's been bad.
Ugly. Fuck Carlton on a whole nother level.
Golly.
Sorry,
See,
Latone.
let me say this. Let me say this, man, to Carlton. See, because last year when they got lucky with the 49ers had the injuries to the quarterback, and he gonna post this handicap symbol of 49ers and making fun of the fact that there was some injuries. And I said, really? That's where your taste is? Okay. See, that's what kind of class you got. Guess what? That laughing is catching, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
That laughing is catching, ain't it? Baker Mayfield took y'all ass apart.
Oh.
And Baker took y'all apart.
Baker took them apart.
Yeah, he was not cooking up apple turnovers that night. That's for sure.
He said, "I'm your new neighbors."
That's for all that bad taste. That's for all of that those bad taste jokes, this classless approach to bragging about. And you know, he was on the road till they played 49ers. He was talking shit. They gonna kill 49ers, blah blah blah. 49ers ruined y'all life.
Damn.
Yeah, that was the start of it, wasn't it?
That was the start of it. They played the 49ers, got blew out, and it ain't been the same since. He broke their spirit. Nah, put that on your cover page.
Yo, so speaking of this game, though, I got a question. Is did Cleveland just lose twice in one weekend? They lost their game, and then they had to go home and watch as Baker Mayfield advances on to the next round of the playoffs.
Oh. Well,
While Deshaun Watson sitting on the sidelines.
well,
Ooh.
Deshaun Watson sitting on the sideline,
Salty as hell.
watching
Staring down-
Houston move on, watching Houston kick his ass.
Ew.
Man,
Speaking of kicking ass, how about them Cowboys?
Woo-hoo. Yo,
what up, Melvin?
hell, look, bro. I said it in the comments. Either Mel or Carlton had posted it. It was an Eagles versus Dallas type of post about losing in the playoffs, and they were talking their trash. And I was like, "You do realize you're talking about two teams who's going to lose this weekend?"
Both of them lost bad.
Bad.
Man, how you let Jordan Love come to Dallas and put up 275?
Light your ass up.
Woo.
See, here's the Cowboys' problem. Here's the Cowboys' problem. I know not, and I'm not going to state the obvious that they can't stop the run. I'm not going to state the obvious because this is what happened, and I said it before it went ahead. They got to play from ahead. They have to get a fast start.
Mm-hmm.
They fall behind 2 touchdowns, leave alone 3. You know what that means.
Oh, they're done.
Dak is about to start throwing interceptions.
Mm.
And he
That's
threw
what
2 of
happened.
them. He threw 2 of them early.
Mhm.
Yeah, they was already behind.
So, and one of them was a pick 6.
They was already behind. That pick 6 made it 4 touchdowns up.
I was mad as
Once
hell
they
watching
fall
that
behind,
game.
once they fall behind, they try to play. They got to play catch up, and you put too much of the burden on Dak. Dak got to throw too much, and Dak gonna start throwing interceptions. It never fails. Once they fall behind, they done. They're not a comeback kind of team.
Right?
They're not a comeback team with Dak back there because Dak is gonna make mistakes. He gonna give it up. Got to give it up.
That brings up an off-subject question.
Okay.
Out of the Packers and the Cowboys, which fans do you think are the worst?
Oh, the Cowboys by far.
Cowboys. Yeah, it ain't even close.
That's not even close.
Oh, no.
You brought that up like we were talking about Philadelphia fans and Raider fans for a second.
Man, I grew up in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Man, oh
Packer
my
fans
God.
can be annoying, but they are not the Cowboys. No, you can forget about that one. You're not gonna win that one, Big Ed. Just move on. Next.
Okay.
You ain't winning that one. Trust me. Just trust me. Ain't been to you. You must not have been to Texas. No.
Nope, never.
Cowboy fans are the worst. They are the worst
We're
because they are
American.
entitled. They are so entitled. And why?
Mhm.
We're America's team. Why? Says
You
who?
won 4 Super Bowls in the 90s?
Speaking of America's team, America's new team, the team that I call them America's team because they have been good for every economy, every local economy for the teams that they play. When they play in your city, they showing up and they are going to give your economy a boost. So they have become America's team, and that is your Lions.
Yes.
Yo, okay. He's lying. Okay, so I'm mad as hell because this is the one game this weekend I missed. And there's a reason why this is the one game this weekend I missed because it was a great fucking game. And I'm mad I missed it. And I apologize for my language, but that's how upset I am for making this mistake of missing this game.
Oh, man, you missed a good one.
Closest game of the weekend.
Yeah, you missed a good one. Closest game of the weekend. Stafford got salty and insulted the fans. And he insulted the fans. Now all you Detroit Ram fans, I told y'all sound stupid with that shit. I told y'all fuck this dude, he's gone. And y'all follow him. I want him to win. I'm happy for Stafford. It's the minute he came to town and got his ass kicked, they said, Stafford, what you think about the city? What you got to say to the people of the city of Detroit? How you feel for the city of Detroit? And he said, well, I'm happy for the players.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Mention of
In
the
other
city
words,
full of so much love.
Fuck y'all. Yeah.
Oh,
that's what he
wow.
did. That's what he did. That's what he did. Y'all got all behind him with all that Detroit Ram shit. I told y'all that fool's go, man. Let it go. He gone. Embrace your own.
Man.
But
Man.
it was nice to see them send his ass home. And Jared Goff put together a really nice game. Stafford didn't have a bad game, but it showed to be exactly what I said they were. I said Stafford is better at the long ball, but the mid-range game and the short game is Goff's. Goff is better than Stafford there. 3 times in the red zone, Stafford couldn't score. He scored he scored his 2 touchdowns on long bombs. He hit Puka with one. He hit somebody else with one. So he hit 2 long bombs for some touchdowns, whereas three trips to the red zone, they came up with nothing. They came up with 2 field goals out of 3 trips in the red zone. Whereas Detroit had 3 trips to the red zone and they got 3 touchdowns. That was exactly what I said is the difference between Goff and Stafford. When you shrink that field, Goff is better than Stafford. As long as he got the whole field to work with, okay. Yeah, we got the long ball. It ain't even close. But when you shrink that field, he ain't got no touch.
No. And you know what? Yeah, you're right. And that proves it from this past weekend. As you said. Yeah.
Puka did get off, though.
Puka balled out.
181 yards on 9 catches with 1 touchdown.
Puka balled out.
Man.
I didn't expect anything less.
He balled out.
Set a rookie playoff record.
Yeah.
He balled out, man. Stafford didn't have a bad game. Stafford had a good game.
Yeah.
But Detroit just had a better game plan. And when they needed it, they was like, they can get a couple first downs here. They can close this out. Dan Campbell said, I'm putting this one in the hands of Jared Goff. Go beat your old team, boy. We ain't handing it off to nobody. Go beat your old team, nigga. They ran you out of town. They said you wasn't good enough for Los Angeles. Go kick their ass and let Goff go out there. Boom, first down. Boom, first down. Game time. Put a knee on it. And I was like, damn. He just laid their ass right the fuck out.
I was actually kind of surprised that they got away from the run.
I was not.
Because at the beginning of the game, man, they was killing them with the run.
Before the game even started, it was always going to come down to Goff versus Stafford. And that is exactly why that run, no matter how deadly it was killing them, it was always going to go back to Goff.
You had to. It had to. It was only right. And everybody talked about Stafford coming back, but a lot of people forgot. Goff is the one that got ran out of Los Angeles. Stafford didn't get run out of Detroit.
Goff caught the strays.
Stafford asked to be moved, and they obliged him and moved him. But Goff got ran out of Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
So he was the one with a chip on his shoulder here. And so when it came down to it, we need these 2 first downs to get this win. Dan Campbell said, no, I ain't going to. Goff, go get him. Go show him what you're made of, baby. Show him what you're made of. Yeah. Let him have it. Let him have it. So, who else played? The Bills just smashed Pittsburgh.
Yeah. We didn't really expect that. Anything different.
No, there was no surprise there. There was not a lot of surprise with Kansas City win. It was just too cold for Miami, man.
Yeah, and I didn't take that into consideration when I was making my picks. I didn't even think about looking at the weather. And
I thought about that immediately. I was like, man, Tua ain't ready for no damn 27 below zero.
We did the show. That boy said, "Where's the ball? I can't feel it."
Heck yeah. Dude, he grew up in Hawaii, went to Alabama. What do you know about going up to Kansas City in the cold? So yeah, there was only one close game this weekend, really.
Yeah. I got a couple fun facts for you guys. The first one is a dig at the Cowboys because underneath it all, I am probably one of the biggest Cowboy haters there is. I just don't like their fan base. It's y'all's fault. Since coming into the league in 2002, the Texans have more playoff wins than the Cowboys. I just make sure that was out
there. That's a fact. 5-4. Yes. Well, I got another dig at him.
Okay.
Another dig at the Cowboys, in case you didn't know, since you missed it. Green Bay has won more playoff games at Jerry's World than the Cowboys did.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Nothing but love, Mel, but I can't stand Cowboys. This one,
Cowgirls.
This one affects Lamar. Just one of the last 23 NFL MVPs has won the Super Bowl. The last being Patrick Mahomes last year, 2 years ago.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because Von Miller won it when Peyton was there, didn't he? In Denver?
No. No, Big Ed.
Well, not the season, but never mind. Sorry.
Thank you. All right, go ahead. Calm down. That year, Cam Newton actually won the MVP that year, right?
Oh, maybe, yeah. I forgot they did play Denver.
Yes, that's where they lost. Yep. Cam Newton was the MVP, and he lost to Denver.
Man. So yeah,
and Von Miller was the Super Bowl MVP that year.
Okay.
I believe so.
Thanks for listening.
All right.
I was trying to get it right in my head.
You guys got anything else you want to throw in before we get to making our picks for this divisional round?
I got one thing I want to throw in. In October, I took a trip to Tampa Bay to watch the Lions play Tampa in Tampa.
Mm.
And now those motherfuckers are coming here.
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker.
You going to the game?
We got some hell no. We got some great they say man, they raping people for money out down there. We got some great matchups this weekend, man. And the way things will play out, because now Detroit is the 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Because the team that cheated them out of the 2 seed to begin with, the Cowboys, and got their ass beat. So the NFC East was a fraud completely.
Yes.
The NFC East was a complete fraud. Philly, Dallas, fraud on top of fraud. So Carlton and Melvin, y'all can go have lunch together.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all both y'all both rooting for frauds. The NFC North was the real deal. The NFC South was actually surprisingly better than expected. And the NFC West is what the NFC West is. NFC North turned out to be the toughest division in the conference.
Yeah.
And that's because one of the teams gave up.
The only conference with 2 teams left.
The Bears were right on the cusp. The Vikings, even after 4 different goddamn quarterbacks, somehow still was right there on the edge.
Yep.
The NFC North put up a fight.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
The future of the NFC North is interesting.
Back to the black and blue division.
It's interesting because they're gonna be battling for some years to come.
Yeah. Brian Flores
I get the feeling Minnesota gonna get their next QB, and Chicago is set up to build something for sure. If they don't screw it up, they set up nicely right now, and man, it could be that division is gonna be tough.
Yeah,
that division is gonna be tough.
The Bears and the Vikings defenses alone this past season is showing just how tough the NFC North is, and the rest of the North is taking notice because you've seen the way Dan Campbell came out there and got that team together for that last half of the season. Because just in division, you were in for a fight now, and not on offense. You get there on offense, you got a battle.
They had 4 in division games the last 2 weeks of the the last few weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It was all dog fights.
Oh yeah,
led by defenses.
All dog fights.
Man, we better sign Jalen Johnson. God damn it.
I'm looking forward to next season with the NFC North. I'm going to keep it real. I'm
looking forward to this weekend, man. This weekend is going to be some. Oh man, it's going to be some firepower, man. I tell you, it's going to be interesting.
Which game do you think is the most? Which game do you think is the most interesting this divisional round weekend?
The first game of the weekend, and we're going to get to making that pick right away.
Go for it.
Texans at the Ravens.
Texans at Ravens. That's not my pick for the answer to Big Ed's question. I'm going to go with the Ravens, though.
It's me with the way CJ Stroud's playing. That's my pick for the most interesting. Is he able to figure out the Ravens defense? Is the Ravens defense able? I mean, is the Texans defense able to figure out Lamar? But I got to go with the Ravens.
For me, man, look, they went up against a defense that was unstoppable almost all season, and now 2 weeks in a row, they have to do it again. This is going to be a big test for CJ Stroud, besides the fact that he's a rookie in the divisional round of the playoffs after going and dominating the wild card of the playoffs. I think it's going to be a lot closer game than everybody thinks. I'm going to go with the Texans just to be the oddball.
Okay.
Next up, Packers at 49ers.
That's the game that I think is the most intriguing because Jordan Love has been balling for the last several weeks, and not a lot of people have been paying attention to him, which is I had been paying attention, which is why I picked him to beat the Cowboys because I said Jordan Love is playing next level, and people are not taking notice. They are really, really good. Um, Scary game for my boys. I can't front. The interesting thing is, if the Packers win and the Lions win, the Lions get a home game for the NFC Championship game, and it's an NFC North playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl in Ford Field downtown. Because right now they have their second playoff game coming at home, and they could potentially have a third. And I've always said I would like to see the Lions go to the Super Bowl. I just don't want them to do so at the expense of the 49ers. But I cannot go against my 49ers for the Green Bay Packers. It's not going to happen. So I'm going 49ers.
Oh, oh, okay. I'm interested. All right, Big Ed.
I'm going to go 49ers also. That defense that the 49ers have is it's going to confuse Jordan Love a lot. And that's going to cause him to lose. So I'm going with the 49ers.
I'm gonna go with the Packers. And I think it's because everybody's eyes are on Jordan Love in that receiving core, but Aaron Jones is going to be the one to tear apart the 49ers.
But see, that's where the 49ers is good. They stop the run.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They're gonna make the Packers one dimensional, and they're gonna force Jordan Love to try to beat them, and that's not gonna happen.
I think it's going to be a lot different. I'm going to go with the Packers. I'm probably going to regret it, but I'm still going to go with the Packers.
Oh yeah, you're gonna regret it.
I'm you know what? I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him. It's good. It's going to be a close one. I think. I think that is to me that is the most intriguing matchup.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
I think Waves is gonna end up 0-4 this week.
Nah.
Wow.
Bucks at the Lions.
Now, I heard an interesting stat today. This guy came on and he said, I don't know why anybody's worried about what's going to happen this weekend. The Lions has not lost a home playoff game in over 30 years.
Oh wow.
I said I thought that was an interesting twist on the facts, but it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. Because it's been you've heard nothing but their first playoff win, home playoff win in over 30 years. Their first home playoff win in over 30 years. And this guy said, well, they haven't lost a home playoff game in over 30 years. I thought that was an interesting twist to the fact. But I think they're in for a tough game. It's a rematch of the game that I went to go see.
Who won that game?
The Lions won that one.
Okay.
Handily, by the way. They won it handily. David Montgomery got hurt early in that game, so that was when Jahmyr Gibbs first took over, but he hadn't come into his own yet until the next week when he got comfortable being the guy. That was the game that said, you're the guy now, and he wasn't ready. But J-Mo had a big game. He had a big touchdown catch, and Jared Goff picked him apart. And they won so handily and so comfortably. I I can't imagine that they're going to let Tampa Bay come to their house. Now, we don't. You think we was loud down there because we took over the stadium. It was the Lions crowd. Um, Imagine what it's going to be like now when you come here, because nobody takes over our crowd, especially motherfuckers coming from Florida to Detroit when it's 11 degrees outside. It ain't going to happen. So I'm going with Detroit, and I think Detroit is going to win it. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think they'll win convincingly.
Okay.
I've noticed something with Detroit lately. They've had a lot of problems creating pressure on the quarterback. And they've had a little bit of problems stopping the run. To me, their run defense hasn't been that stout. And one thing that the Buccaneers do good with Rachaad White is run the ball. But I gotta go with Detroit. They're on a roll right now.
Can I just say something here?
I did my impersonation ways.
Can I just say that was absolutely backwards? I mean, you took the two things that they do well and said that's not what they do well.
I haven't seen them create.
You didn't see fucking Stafford limping off the field this past weekend? He was
okay against the Rams, maybe, but
against who they played before that.
Aiden Hutchinson has been killing.
Aiden Hutchinson been killing the game.
Okay.
They've been putting pressure like crazy, and they've been stuffing the run.
Aiden Hutchinson out there running past people.
Weakness has been what made people scared of the Rams was their weakness has been giving up the long ball. That has been their weakness. That's what Minnesota almost came back when Justin Jefferson started getting behind the defense on them. But they've been stuffing the run, and they've been putting the pressure on. I mean, you took the two things that they do well on defense and said that's not what you see. And I'm like, okay, that was backwards. Yeah, go look up some stats. Ways, what's your pick?
Yeah, I gotta go against the grain on this one again. I think it is going to be a blowout. I think the Lions is going to go out there and just destroy the Bucs. I'm not giving mince words. I think the Bucs at best is going to walk out with 10 points.
Okay. All right.
I think the Lions, after last week, are coming in really hot. And they're at home, where those fans will not let that energy leave them and that adrenaline leave them. And they're going to stay hot. So I'm going to go with the Lions.
Okay. All right. So that's the first unanimous pick we got.
Last game.
Last game.
Chiefs at the Bills.
And this time they play in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually play in Kansas City. They always play in Kansas City.
Yeah.
This is Mahomes' first road playoff game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, outside of the neutral field of a Super Bowl. So because of that, I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Hmm.
I'm going to go with Buffalo because of the way their offense has been playing lately. Josh Allen hasn't been giving up the ball, and he's been hitting everything he throws.
I can get with it. I'm gonna go with Buffalo as well.
Ooh.
Chiefs just don't have it this year. Let's face it, Isaiah Pacheco is the shining light of that offense right now. Plain and simple.
And Rashee Rice.
And
Rashee Rice too.
Yeah, Rashee
because
Rice.
he's the only person on their offense that can catch a ball.
But knowing KC, Rashee Rice will be somewhere else next year because when a wide receiver goes off and has a great year and a great playoff for the goddamn Kansas City Chiefs, all of a sudden they're no longer a Kansas City Chief.
Nope, Patrick Mahomes ain't letting that happen. He's not going to let them get rid of Rashee Rice like they did Tyreek.
Well, they're not going to get rid of him right now because he's still going to be under the rookie contract. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
Uh-huh.
Justin Fields, follow the money. I'm telling you, they moved Tyreek when it was about to be time to pay him.
Yeah.
That's why they moving them receivers that go off when it's time to pay him. As
Yeah.
long as he's under the rookie contract, why? We good. We good. We ain't got to pay him next year, so he'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back
That's
until it's time to pay him. Then that's when they're gonna move on when it's time to pay him.
I don't think it's going to be enough this playoff season.
Okay, so we got 2 unanimous picks.
Yep.
And Waze went against the grain on the other 2. So me and Big Ed made all the same picks. We picked all the same teams.
We're going 4-0.
Wade, 2 of them. Waze went away from us on 2 of the games.
He's going 2-2. We're going 4-0.
That's where we are. And I noticed one thing though. I don't notice one thing. Are we out of here on this note?
We are.
I noticed one thing before we get out of here. He ran to Google, but he didn't tell us what he found.
Oh. The Lions are giving up 95.9 yards in they're ranked 8th in run defense. But they've given up almost 100 yards per game.
But they're ranked 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn
Out of
good.
32. So
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
On that note, man, I want to say thank y'all for joining us. I'm your boy, OG Tim Wilson. On behalf of the crew, the Nasty Boys, Big Ed and Waze, we're out of here like last year. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, the What Up Though Show Network, and also make sure you like what you see if you like what you see. We want to thank y'all for joining us, man. We're almost done. The season almost over, but this is the Showdown, and we like to thank you and thank you for joining us. We out. Peace.